let's take a look. These are the Pro Football Focus grades for the wide receiver room, and this is quite telling. Out of 133 eligible wide receivers, Landry was 74th, DPJ 80th, Schwartz 112, Higgins 121. That'll tell you those guys didn't grade out in the top half of the wide receivers. That is stunning that not one of your wide receivers graded out in the top half of the wide receivers. Let's dovetail that. Here are the free agents that are available when you look at who might be a target. Adams, that's not going to happen. Godwin probably isn't going to happen either. Allen Robinson could happen. Mike Williams could happen. I'm laughing at Odell Beckham Jr. I didn't remember him. I think it's safe to say Odell's not coming back. DJ Shark from the Jaguars is somebody that's intriguing as well. Of course, Michael Gallup is dealing with an ACL. But I would think you probably want to get a pretty good free agent wide receiver in addition to drafting a guy up high.
Yeah, I'm with you, David. Let's circle back on those Pro Football Focus numbers for a second. And I do think they do a good job. I think sometimes people get really caught up in what those numbers look like. And I think a lot of times we don't know the other variables that go into, putting a grade on somebody. What was the play? Did the guy run the right route? Did the quarterback miss him? Was there another component of that play that broke down that led to an incompletion or a catch or a touchdown or an interception, whatever the case may be? So I'm a little leery of those numbers. Now, that said, at one point we considered the wide receiving group for this team maybe its strength. One of them, if not the offensive line, we certainly went right to all those targets on offense. And look where we are a year later. You don't have a deep threat. Jarvis Landry, for all intents and purposes, has probably played his last game in Cleveland. Rashard Higgins, who had all this great chemistry with Baker Mayfield 2 years ago, is kind of the missing mystery man. Nobody knows from week to week whether or not he's going to have 5 targets or be inactive. Peoples-Jones, I think, is still intriguing to me. He's a young player. I think they've been trying to figure out exactly where he fits in this offense. He kind of runs that intermediate route. He doesn't have great, speed in terms of, twitch off the line of scrimmage. But, once he gets ahead of steam and gets downfield. But I don't think he was utilized the way that I envisioned him, especially during training camp when he was clearly having a breakout and making us all kind of re-examine what his contribution might be going into the season. So, yeah, Dave, you look at that list of free agents and, sign them all if you can. Because I think they really need an upgrade from top to bottom here.